Welcome back to Numu Tekwaru, the Comanche Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Ray Taisakai. Today we're talking about Comanche Empowerment, an entrepreneurship and technology program created to support our elders, youth, artisans, and small business owners within the Comanche Nation. Joining us today is Eric Herrera, Program Director and founder of the Comanche Empowerment Project Innovation Lab. Eric, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And before we get into the details of the empowerment program and, everything involving in that lab, I'd like to start by giving a moment just to introduce yourself to us.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Eric Herrera. I'm a Comanche tribal member, and I am an innovator. So I dabble into tech, AI. I study at the University of Central Florida and Seminole State College, both simultaneously. And I study neuroscience. And I'm also part of the UCF incubator as well. And so I'm really tight into the technology era here at UCF.
Well, congrats. That's a lot of accomplishments. That sounds super cool. So can you kind of go in more detail about it? You mentioned, you are very well knowledgeable with the AI. Can you share a little bit about your background and what led to this work?
Yes. So for me, it's the fascination of how AI is transforming into our everyday lives and how it's impacting not only technology, but in our personal lives as well, right? And we're evolving, every single day, every single week with technology. But it's how we use it is what's really going to take us to the next level. And so for me, it was really about developing something that was going to be useful within our communities. So I developed North ID, which is something that's going to help out within the marketplace transactions. It's pretty much a protocol, a security protocol system with AI integrated into it. And that's one of my main focuses right now with AI. And not only that, it's teaching others how to be impactful with technology nowadays and how you can use it to advance your way in life, and especially in our native communities. I mean, this is something that's so important to me, especially our Comanche people. We have a lot of great people in our native communities, and the sky's the limit right now. We're in an AI boom, and I think it's just time to start really pushing up our younger generation and all of our entrepreneurs, our innovators, and really showing them the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you kind of give us examples of experiences, either personally or professionally, that kind of shaped your interest in the technology and the entrepreneurship as tools for this empowerment program?
Yes, I work with a lot of great engineers, data scientists here at UCF, and even at Seminole State. And the things that we have been doing, people are into robotics. STEM is really getting impacted. Space exploration. We have SpaceX just literally down the road from where I'm at. And so this has really motivated me to be able to share this information within our community, in our native community, because I feel such a great pride in really pushing this agenda for our people. Think about it. Less than 0.05% is native people represented in the tech industry. So there's a lot of room. That's not a negative thing. That's actually that's a way for us to be able to get in. That's an opportunity for us to be able to grow.
Yeah. And, speaking of that and that small percentage, when did this idea of this empowerment program come to you and kind of take its shape?
So it was last year, like around summertime, we were doing. I was working on North ID. I was working on some software, and it really dawned on me how much opportunity we have within our native communities to be able to be impactful and to learn more about technology. And so I reached out to our chairman, and talked to him a little bit about the idea, and he has been so supportive. I really very honored at the way that he has really just pushed things forward. And so my that's really where it came for me, is just working around a lot of engineers out here. We're in the tech boom, and seeing where we could be at, it really just motivated me to get in there, start the Comanche Empowerment Project, start pushing the agenda of learning technology, learning AI, learning how to utilize these things. Because I think a lot of people misconstrued on what AI really is. People think AI, you're thinking ChatGPT, and they're thinking information that's being taken. But really, I mean, there's neural pathways within AI and the actual machine, and there's so many things that it can be implemented in with our medicines, with our robotics. I mean, there's so many things there that we can use AI for.
Well, I do want to touch more on detail of the AI more later in the podcast, but just to give a head start or just a start for listeners who are probably hearing about this program for the first time, can you kind of explain or describe Comanche empowerment in probably more simple terms?
Yeah. So simply, we just wanted to start a program, a workshop that everybody can join. It's free to join. You can jump on. It's a simple Zoom, and it's every Wednesday, 6 o'clock. And we go over entrepreneurship. We go over the psychology behind sales, behind leadership. And then we jump in on the second half of it. We open it up to a workshop where we're building a website from the ground up. So it's really for everybody. It doesn't matter where you are um, in the tech industry, or even if you're not even sure about what technology is out there, you can jump in there. It's for everybody. And so really, it's just about learning at the beginning, and talking about how you can um, be a better entrepreneur, what it is to build a business from the ground up, how to utilize your resources. And there's so many for Native Americans, so many resources. And then on that second half, we're jumping in and we're going to start building a website.
How neat. That is so cool. So, what makes this program different from more of like a traditional business or a workforce training program?
Because this is more of like a cohort. So it's an innovators lab. So it's open to everybody being able to use their mind and their creativity. With the regular workshop, if you're going to do something with like a workforce workshop, it's really geared towards getting people ready for the workforce. We're empowering our people, that we don't necessarily have to work for people, but we can actually build for our communities. And so this is what transforms on this specific workshop, is to be able to empower our people to be able to create jobs, to be able to create new generations of wealth for themselves with information, and also enriching our communities.
I agree. And with that, why did you think it was so important to grow this program where it combines entrepreneurship and technology and AI?
It's a very good question. So they're both interconnected now. Before, they used to be really split apart a lot, right? So if you're somebody that was a CEO, you wouldn't necessarily think he was into technology if he was running, a larger firm with accounting or something like that. But now technology has come together with leadership, with entrepreneurship, and so we use it in everyday terms. So a successful entrepreneur knows technology now. They must know technology. So when we combine both of them, it strengthens our grasp on what is out there in the market. Because let me tell you, with AI going, it's moving at a million miles a minute, right? I mean, right now you're submitting a resume to a company, and then they're having AI read the resume, and they're accepting it or denying it based on the criterias that they set for that machine. So when an entrepreneur understands the machine and they understand business and they understand the dynamics of the psychology of running a business, running a team, and also understanding what technology can do for your business, this makes you stronger.
Okay. Okay, that's a good explanation for that. With the program and who it's designed for, who did you have in mind when designing this program? I know it's geared towards, our tribal members, but who exactly within our tribe?
I mean, it's for everybody. I really didn't have anybody in mind. I mean, this could be for our leaders, for our directors. This could be for people that are wanting to start something, people that are even having a hard time finding work because the job market right now has really in shambles due to a lot of people being let go from larger firms because of AI, right? And I don't like to bring up AI too much, but it's integrated. So the people that are having the hard time out there, knowing that they can start a business with literally no funding and that it's open to everybody, right? So having somebody in mind, particularly, I really didn't, but really towards our younger generation, I'm really trying to capture them. I want them to know that anything is possible and that being Native American is such an advantage, especially our Comanche people. We have such a deep history, especially in our region, that there's so much we can do. And we have so many unique, so many bright people out there. And I know that just lifting them up, giving them an idea to say, wow, I can actually do this. I don't need $100,000 to start this startup. I can do this with nothing. That's what changes people's mindset.
And I know this would probably be easier for our younger generation. So, how would this program support, elders and, as you mentioned on the flyer, artisans who may be new to online business tools?
Yes, our elders so important to our culture and to our people, right? I mean, they're the backbone, and so they're building all these unique things, right, within our cultures, and being able to start a simple website and be able to show their work around the world. I mean, this is important. And so for them, I wanted to capture to show them that it's safe, not only safe, but it's also viable for them to be able to create an online presence because this is where the business happens now. It doesn't happen in the brick and mortars all the time, and now it happens online. So I really wanted to capture them to show them what's possible. And I have some really great people that are in our current program right now who are interested in selling, beadwork, and we're able to, connect the dots. So you have the product, you have the beadwork that you want to get out to the world, and so this is how we can do it: SEO, building the website, visual representation, these things.
So, for the program, you mentioned that elders can kind of come on and learn about the technology, the innovation lab, and things like that. Would they need, maybe someone like a grandson or a daughter or son to come on with them to kind of learn the process so that they can create something for them? Or do you offer assistance for these elders who may not be able to navigate, what you're offering?
I'm making it super accessible for our elders. They don't need anybody to jump on. They can jump on for the first time, and I walk them through everything. I explain every aspect of the process, and they're able to understand it. And also, I'm also going over it again with everybody so that we can create a great grasp on what we're doing.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So I kind of want to talk about the learning experience, the structure of the program. Can you walk us through what participants can expect in this 8-week program?
So for the 8 weeks, we're going to be going over specific structures. Now, the first is that we touched over entrepreneurship, business, psychology of sales, and leadership. And then we're going to progress onto building an entire business. So understanding the formula and the format on how to create those steps. So it's an ongoing process. Same with the workshop. Once we start the website, we start building onto the website every single week. And then towards the end, we'll have a finished product.
Oh, wow. So each session includes both training and I'm assuming hands-on building time. So why was that balance so important to you?
Well, I really want to create a good dynamic for everybody because some people are really good at, hearing it. I have the slideshow going. I'm able to show them and really break down every component of what business is, what AI is, what technologies are out there now that's going to be able to advance. And then jumping into the hands-on, I feel like both of them create a really good, even level for people to be able to learn deeply and also take something away from it.
Okay, yeah, and I think that's a good idea. I feel like for me, I'm more hands-on. So anytime there's any type of workshop or something like that, I'm like, as long as it has hands-on, I can learn it. So what does it mean for participants to collaborate, build a real online business from the ground up?
Yeah, so the collaboration is really going to be open table. So what happens is that we separate them in groups and then they can go out in breakout rooms and they're able to work on their specific website. So it's not just one website, it's multiple. So everybody can work on their own ideas, they can collaborate, they can talk about it. And then when we come back, we'll be able to put these ideas into perspective and then also build them onto their functioning website.
Okay, so I feel like at this point in this podcast, people are probably super interested and kind of want to know the key skills that they will walk away from after completing the program. Can you kind of list some of those skills?
Yeah, the key skills are going to be business ownership, leadership, running a team, understanding online commerce, understanding website development, understanding website functions, how to make sales, transactions, how to set up your bank account towards it. All these things they're going to walk away with on this particular workshop.
Okay. And for some of those who, heard all those lists and maybe feel a little intimidated, how would you introduce AI or just this program in general to them in a way that feels accessible and useful?
Very good question. So for the average person that's really not into this, they're able to come in and really, I tell you, it's just about being open to learn. So understanding that having an open mind is really going to help you progress. Innovation is about being open-minded, right? So understanding that you're going to have to learn, you're going to mess up sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you're not good at it. That just means that we have to work at it a little bit more. So jumping in, having zero knowledge, we'll be able to work together and make sure that you understand every aspect of what we're doing in the program.
Okay, and within this program, is the meeting one-on-one? I can't remember if you said that or not, or if it was a group of people at a time.
So we start as a group and we go through it in a classroom structure. And then once we do that, we jump into the workshop and we work together as a team. And then we go out into breakout rooms. And then once we're done in the breakout rooms, we come back.
Okay, right, correct. That is what you said. Perfect. Okay, so actually, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to hear from our PIO director, Jolene Sconchin, about all the upcoming Comanche Nation events. We'll be right back.
Hamadatweka Namana, Nase Jolene Sconchin, and I'm the director of the Comanche Nation Public Information Office. Please take note of the following events happening in Comanche country. The Comanche Nation will have an auction of desks, chairs, filing cabinets, shelves, and more, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on February the 18th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on February 19th, and 9 a.m. to noon on February 21st. The auction will be held at 4 Southwest D Avenue in Lawton, Oklahoma. The Comanche Tribal Court Legal Aid Clinics will take place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on February 18th and February 25th at the courthouse. Also, the Wills Clinic will take place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on February the 20th. Contact the Tribal Court for more information. The Namana Thurita is having its first Prince and Princess to represent the Early Childhood Development Center. It is open to children enrolled at one of the ECDC centers. People can donate to their favorite candidate, and the candidate with the most votes will be crowned on March the 2nd. All money raised will go towards the ECDC Activity Fund. Call their office for more information. There will be an MMIP listening session at 9 a.m. on February the 19th at the Comanche Nation Complex. The session is to gain a deeper understanding of barriers faced in MMIP cases. The Comanche Nation Administration and Child Care Development Program will present Family Game Night 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Friday, February 20th at the Comanche Nation Complex's Watchataker Hall. All youth ages are invited. The Comanche Nation youth dancers will have an all-gore dance powwow from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on February the 21st at the Comanche Nation Complex's Watchataker Hall. Everyone is invited. Please note that the contact information for the programs I mentioned is available on the Comanche Nation website, www.comanchenation.com. Also, look at the Comanche Nation News of Oklahoma's Facebook page for additional information about events and activities. You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Reporting for the Comanche Nation PIO News, Nase Jolene Sconchen. Era.
Okay, Eric, so how do you see Comanche empowerment contributing to long-term economic development within the Comanche Nation?
So we want to impact it generationally, right? So helping people think long term on not only just teaching themselves, but teaching their kids, teaching the people around them, making an impact, knowing that even if you are living in a rural area, you can have a huge impact in technology because we're not bound anywhere by place, where we're only bound by what we can feel we can innovate. And so it's all about mindset. And I think economic development within our tribe is to be able to create more entrepreneurs, to be able to push through and come together as well. And also more startups. I want to see more people start companies within the tech industry to be able to develop apps, to be able to develop softwares. Now is the best time to do that more than ever. We are in the AI boom. We're in the tech boom right now. And so this could really just change the trajectory of our nation, right? So the tribe right now, we have been longstanding. We've been really taking care of our people, our elders, our younger generation as well. But now it's how can we advance our own people? So instead of the tribe pushing the way, I want to see more leaders take the reins and really take us to the next level.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Absolutely. So what impact do you see in this program for not just one individual, but for families or for a broader community?
So the bigger impact is ownership. We have to start thinking more of ownership. We've always been really working together with others, or people have been working their jobs and doing really well, right? But we're in a different age now. So it's about ownership. It's about proprietary information. Which is data or making something like software, or just starting a business, right? Starting an online business, very simple. If let's say you want to sell hats, you want to sell beadwork, you want to sell woodwork or paintings, this can really benefit families by adding additional income. Also empowering our children to be able to see that the adults are entrepreneurs and that they're thinking outside the box. So now they're going to think outside the box. And not only that, it's going to give people purpose because, I grew up in rural Oklahoma. I understand that there's really not much option out there when you're trying to look for work economically, or if you're trying to do something positive. It's really easy to fall back and kind of get discouraged. And there's a whole world now out there, and it's online. And so we want to be able to empower people to think outside the box and start something and think in ownership terms.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like in the world that we're in, someone can just pick up their phone and start recording and, make money from it. So like it's definitely the right way to go when it comes to this program. So absolutely. So, okay, so they completed the program. They get their everything finished and completed. What happens at the end of the 8 weeks for the participant? What do they do now?
Yeah, so once we're done, we're able to present the final product, which is our website on this course. And we're going to get together with our PIO department and the chairman, and we're going to give them recognition through the newspaper, through online, to be able to show others that they're able to build things and really think innovation. And so that'll set the precedent for our community. But then for the individuals, they're able to take away understanding that they can run a business online, and this could really be life changing. So, I mean, they could start immediately. And the good thing is, too, they'll always have support from North Technologies and AI. And so if they say, I want to start my business right away, I mean, we can get them in the right direction, help set everything up for them, and walk them through the process to get them up and going. So that's another huge win for them.
And why is it so important to include that official business launch, the recognition, all a part of that being in the program?
Recognition is so important, right? Psychologically, it's just something that revamps and revitalizes somebody, and even communities. It shows the community that um, we are being innovators, but we're also thinking ahead. So people see that we are rolling up our sleeves, we're working together, we're building. And so the recognition really is not just for the individual, right? But it's also for our community. So when our people see other, right, natives being able to be lifted up, I think this is a very strong message, and it sends a very strong signal that we're in a different direction now.
All right. And a part of the official business launch. Why is that so important to be a part of the program too?
So the program is going to help not only your knowledge, but be able to think outside the box, right? So um, launching a business, that's a big deal, right? I mean, imagine somebody that's never really thought about this. They're in rural Oklahoma or anywhere, and they don't even know where to start. Half the time, people don't even know where to start when it comes to business. They have no idea the resources that they have at their disposal. They really don't understand the economics behind it. They don't understand how to, set up the operations. And once somebody has these simple tools, sky's the limit. They're able to not only just create one business, but they can create many. And we are in that age now that people are doing not just one businesses, but many businesses, because you must have more on your plate now in order to increase your odds of being successful. Because right now, like you said, somebody can pick up a device and start recording and making money, right? But you might be wanting to make a podcast, but you also might want to run an online e-commerce, right? Or even open up a shop within the local town. So once you give somebody the tools and the know-how and the understanding of operations, of sales, of leadership, all these things, you really just put them on a new level.
Yeah, and I love the idea that, this program, is a part of Comanche Nation, and then we do have the PIO, so that's kind of like their marketing too. So like it's all wrapped up in one. We're here, waiting for you. So I think it's an awesome opportunity, absolutely. So looking ahead, how do you envision this program evolving over time?
So there's so many ways that we could evolve, right? But I really want to incorporate a lot of other leaders to come in and speak to the people, teach something so we can all learn. So it's not just about one person teaching others what to do on, point A, point B, point C. It's about a collaboration of our native country, right? A native country so that people can come in and empower others. So I see us starting to develop a chain of network that we can bring in other leaders from other tribes, and they can come in and talk about how they advanced in their ways.
What does empowerment mean to you in the context of this work?
Empowerment is generational. It's a mindset, it's innovation, it's knowing that there's a better way. There's always a better way. There's always a new way. Um, we can look back at our past generations and, kind of think that's the only way. But empowerment is allowing somebody to dream and to act on those dreams. And so when you're empowering somebody to be able to act on their dreams, whether it's content creator, whether it's a startup for technology, or even opening up a local shop and starting a restaurant, this is how we change generational wealth, and generational knowledge is really stepping into that new way.
And I think that's a very important way of looking at it, especially for our people. I feel like our people kind of do get stuck in, that old way of thinking. And now's the perfect time to open their mind and learn something new and understand that's not all we can, offer ourselves. So I agree 100%. In talking about our people, if someone was listening right now and considering to participate in this program, or encouraging maybe a family member that they thought of that should participate, what would you want them to know?
So if you wanted to jump into the program, it's super easy to access. First off, you can use your phone. You don't need any, special tools or technology. You could even call in if you had to and just listen via speaker. So we're super accessible. There's no pressure. You don't need to be asked, answering questions or knowing certain things. Anybody could jump in. And we're just really just starting from the basics. So really slow, methodical, and making sure everybody understands the basics of entrepreneurship, again, leadership. And, I specifically chose website this time because I think it's a good starter point for people to be able to understand. You can start things from home. But as we go into the later years and we're doing other programs, we'll absolutely be changing the workshop.
Okay. All right. So, Eric, thank you for sharing your time and your insight with us today. We really appreciate this. And I think it was good not only for our people, but for me to kind of get an understanding because I was, interested for sure. So, before we close out, is there anything else that you would like to share for our listeners?
Yeah, I just want to say for everybody out there that's wanting to, get into technology or doing something bigger, don't be afraid. I work with hundreds of founders and data scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs every single day at the universities, and they are so fascinated with the Comanche culture and our deep culture. And, they want to learn more. People are hungry about learning more about who we are and what we've become, right? And every time I talk about our people, because I represent our tribe. Everywhere I go, I talk about the nation, and how amazing we are, you know, and they're all ears. And I think it's so important now that we're able to get our culture out there through online sources and really push that, our cultures.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like just myself, like working for the nation, the degree that I got, the education that I got, and the things that I learned, in tech and AI, I want to use it for our people. Like I am proud to work for Comanche Nation. So, encouraging people to do the same and to represent us is a beautiful thing for sure. Well, thank you so much for everyone listening. And thank you, Eric, for coming on and talking about this an empowerment program. I think it's a super exciting experience for our people, and we encourage our listeners to learn more about Comanche empowerment. Is there some website or link that they could follow to, keep in touch with you and learn more about this empowerment program as it moves forward?
So right now they can jump on to the Comanche website. It is on the Comanche Nation website. Our IT department is put it up there for everybody to be able to sign up. We also have it on our Facebook, on the official Comanche Nation Facebook and PIO. Well, I know they merged them recently, but they're on there to be able to just click on the link. You can also, there's a form, you can fill out the form. And once you fill out the form, we'll send you the link through email, and we'll also update you through the weeks on what we're going to be talking about.
All right, perfect. That was great. Thank you, Eric, for joining us. And listeners, we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.